Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another franchise, Madden 26, Las Vegas Raiders. As you look in the top right, you will notice our head coach, Dylan Northcutt. Yes, there is a space. There isn't supposed to be, but apparently Northcutt is an offensive word, so in order to make it work, we had to put a space. But Dylan Northcutt, LA Rams, Madden 25 legend. Arguably the best defensive player we've ever had. Definitely the best linebacker. So, second round pick in our first ever season. It only made sense to bring him over as the coach. Speaking of Pete Carroll, he's decided, well, he's getting up there in age. He's decided, even though he wanted to coach, he no longer is. Now, if we quickly look at the lineup of this team, here is what we're looking with. A quick thing I need to mention, you may notice Javon Baker. The excuse for this is when the week one rosters came out, Amari Cooper was on the team. Since then, he's decided to retire. So we can't force anyone to retire in this series. So what we ended up doing is making all his overalls to one, and we moved into long snapper. So if he happens to get signed by a team to be a long snapper, well, good luck to them. But obviously, I'm not going to roll out there with four receivers. So I went into free agency, saw Javon Baker. I was like, you know what? I think he'd be a great guy to have. So we went ahead and signed him. Another thing, Jacoby Myers in real life has requested a trade. So because of that, we do have him on the trade block. We are going to be listening to offers for Jacoby Myers. Will we actually trade him away? Who knows? That's not something I'm willing to say yet. Depends on the offers. But he has requested a trade in real life. We're going to put him on the block just to hear the offers. We might not necessarily go out of our way because, as you see, it's a big drop off from receivers going from an 83 to a 74. But anyway, let's go over our roster, starting with the biggest position, quarterback. We have Geno Smith. Now, the good thing about Geno Smith is he is under contract for a few years. He's under contract for 3 years. However, he has an out after 2 years. So if we don't like how he's playing after 2 years, we can go ahead and release him, and we'd have to pay no money. Not to mention he's a 34-year-old guy, so he is probably going to regress probably to the mid to high 70s. So it might be one of those where we do look to move on from him and hopefully get a quarterback pretty early on in this series. But at least it's not a day one worry like, some of our past series have been, where it's like, how are we going to replace this quarterback in the first free agency or draft? It's something that we might not worry about. But we have Kenny Pickett as the backup. Who knows if he ends up being anything? He's, like I said, a backup, but he has potential. He was a former first round pick. He is 27 years old. He is a bit up there in age, but he is a 67 overall. So, I mean, he is in that serviceable tier, in my opinion. At running back, we have a really good running back room with Ashton Genty, obviously the 6th overall pick. Minus his morale, he's actually an 83 overall with hidden dev. That's really good. Raheem Mostert at a 79, he's a really good backup, even if he is old and on a 1-year rental. Zamir White, another great backup at a 73. And Loeb, well, he's a 65. Don't expect too much out of him. Looking at our receivers, we already talked about Jacoby Myers. He is on a contract year, though, so even if we don't decide to trade him away, we are going to have to think, are we going to want to re-sign him? Is he going to want to re-sign with us? Who knows? But other receivers, Trey Tucker, I also believe, is in a contract year. No, he has 2 years, excuse me. But then we get to the fun part. Jack Beck, Dante Fortin. 2 rookies, both hidden dev. We have a 71 and a 68 overall. Oh, or a 73, actually. A lot of potential for these 2 young guys to build a solid receiving core. And then, obviously, Javon Baker at our 5th. Tight end, we have Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer, Ian Thomas are really great. Really, 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 really great tight end room. I'm actually really happy about this one. O-line, we're not going to spend too much time talking about. We do have 2 hidden devs in Rogers and Grant. But other than that, not a big fan. Jackson Power Johnson is really the only one I feel comfortable building around because Colton Miller, as you see, he is getting up there in age. He is also going into a contract year. No. Never mind. I thought he was. He has a lot of years left. So maybe not. We're comfortable building with him as well. But everyone else, don't really know yet. Hopefully Parham, I mean, he can turn into something. He is, it looks like going into a contract year. Yes. As for these other two, Meredith definitely I want to replace because he is, not really in a good spot. He's kind of in the middle of the pack at age, so he's not going to really progress much. So it's better to move on from him early. Meanwhile, Glaze, it's going to depend. He's actually going into his second year, so 73 overall. There's definitely room to improve. He's pretty much going to have this year to prove, hey, I'm worth sticking around. And then Michael Mayer, our backup tight end, is going to play fullback for this year. Yeah. Defensively, gonna be honest, this is definitely where the weakness is. Max Crosby is the only good guy here. And even then, he's 28 years old. He's not really going to be getting any younger. He's kind of at that interesting age for us where, he's going to be getting worse and worse as the years goes on. This is probably his final year to really do good, which works out because this year is actually his most expensive year. So that actually works out perfectly for us. Paying him the most while he's at his best. But other than that, you can take a look. I mean, there's nothing really good. Jeremy Chin's decent, but he's also, middle 20s, 27. He's really only got the 1, 2 years left. Eric Stokes, same thing. Someone who could turn into something, but who knows. This is the only other bright spot. Darian Porter, rookie. He is 24 years old, which is a bad thing because, well, pretty much by the time his rookie contract is up, he's already going to be at that age where he's not going to be getting better. So defense is, very, very bad. We need to fix. And special teams actually pretty solid. Daniel Carson, AJ Cole, Bobenmeyer. Yeah, we really like the special teams. But if we quickly take a look at the scouts, I already set the scouts up, already did the draft class. Show you the scouts first, then the class. Here is what I'm going with, regions and all. At 3-star, we're going for defensive tackle. I think it is our top two biggest needs. That and safety are both very high, but we have Jeremy Chin, so it's not as big of a need as the tackle. Obviously, you always put your 3-star at national. Always, always, always. So yeah, 2-star, central, we have safety. I think it's our biggest fixed now need is strong safety or free safety. Whichever one Jeremy Chin isn't, we need to address instantly. 1-stars, we have edge, corner, and quarterback. Now, the reason is edge, we just don't really have that much depth there. Obviously, we have Max Crosby, but that's about it. That's not really. It's the same thing with safety. We have Jeremy Chin, but that's about it. Obviously, I like the backups at edge a lot more. I think it's a lot easier to replace edge guys than it is safety guys. So yeah, cornerback. Obviously, we have a bunch of solid guys, but no one who stands out. That's a lackluster receiving or corner room. We need a desperate overhaul on that because all the guys we have, yes, they're serviceable, but that's about it. Plus, only the one, like I said, is young, and even that is 24. And then finally, quarterback. That's just one of those where if we decide to draft it, we decide to draft it. It's going to be I'm very picky about quarterback in year one because it's probably going to be a guy we take in day 2, so rounds 2 through 3. And yeah, I don't know how I'm really going to like it. So it's going to be one of those where we might draft it, we might not. Don't, be eyeing it up too much. Here we go. Draft class now. We're going to go by position. Quarterback, there are 2 guys who are projected to go top 5, 2 round 1 guys. This is kind of the area I'm looking at, these round 3 through 4 guys. Eli Diggs, Matthew Simmons, Brandon Schmidt. These are the 3 guys who I would want to go with. What sucks is these 2 are both 23 while we have 21-year-old Brandon Schmidt. So age is definitely not on their side. They're going to be older rookies. Halfback we don't need, but I'll show off. There's a lot of good ones, as you can see, round 1 through 2, round 2 through 3, a few 3 through 4s. Fullback, no one cares about. Receiver, another one that's very good. We could end up going it if we happen to, really need it. But like I said, I kind of want to build around these two young guys, Jack Beck, Dante Fortin, and then also Trey Tucker isn't bad either. So depending on how well they develop, I don't think we're going receiver necessarily this draft. Maybe with all these round 3 for 4, three guys or someone ends up being something. Tight end, here it is. We definitely are. We have really great tight ends. Left tackle, here this is as well. We don't plan on taking a left tackle. Left guard, we don't really plan on taking immediately, but there's only the one guy anyway. So center, center is the one we would take. There's a few guys, round 1 for 2, 1 for 2, 1 for 2, and then a 3 for 4. So definitely some guys. And then right guard, someone we wouldn't take, but there's only one anyway. Right tackle, looks like he'll, what was it, Blaze or whatever, will keep his job. Left edge, here's what we're looking at. There's a few guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then, some other guys down here. Could be, worthwhile. Same with over here, a top 5, 2 round 1s, a few round 2 for 3s, a 3 for 4. D tackle, our most biggest position, a top 5 and 3 round 1 guys. Here's what we're looking at. We have a Sam guy who's not really great, but yeah, a few Mike guys. Will. These are pretty much outside linebackers, by the way. Sam, Mike, Will. Left outside, middle, right outside for Will. Corner, definitely big. I mean, round 1 guy, a few round for 2s, a few 2 for 3s. Definitely no reason to really skip out on it. Safety, looking pretty good for free safety. And then strong safety, same thing, looking really good. Kicker, punter, long snapper, obviously all projected to go undrafted because they always do. Only time we ever take one is if, it's like the 7th round. But as you see, Jabril Peppers, an IRL free agent, signed with the 49ers. That didn't happen in real life, but that's going to probably happen. As you see, Kendall Fuller got signed. We'll actually go to sign. Taylor Heineke gets signed by the Ravens. Layden Robinson gets signed by the Ravens. So yeah, definitely a few things happened. Eddie Jackson gets signed. Rashawn Evans gets signed. Jacoby Windman, DTR. Kyle Trask. Cordell Volson, Jabril Peppers, as we talked about. So yeah. Now, with that being said, this first episode, well, or as I like to normally call it, episode 0, isn't actually going to serve as a episode. We're not going to be advancing weeks or anything. This is literally just to show off our team. We will go ahead and do this coach interview, though.
The dawn of a new.
We have Rich Eisen talking to us. I don't really care. Coach, a big reason why you were hired was your ability to develop talent and get the most out of players. What area will you focus on first? Finding scheme fits. We need a scheme that works for us. Find the right players for the system. We have talented players, but the talent only goes so far sometimes. We need to be the right ones to be the key. Shifting to on the field, which side of the ball will your identity shine for the most? I mean, it's not even close. I don't think either will be that impressive. But definitely running back. I want to be a tough team, and I think you'll see that in how hard our guys, specifically the running ball, works. Running backs run the ball. And lastly, coach, what will give you an advantage over the other coaches in the league? Definitely our scouting. Drafting well is the key to the long-term success. We're going to find the right guys in those rounds, whether other teams can't. Thanks, everyone. I'm really excited for this year, and go Raiders! Why is this music? Okay, there we go. But that's about all we're really going to do in this first episode. Obviously, we went over everything. We'll go ahead and quickly show off what we could get for Jacoby Myers. Now, I just want to quickly mention, this is my first real time using these Madden 26 stuff. I know the whole thing was heavy coordinators and like off the field stuff, strategy and all of that. So if I don't get it immediately, don't get mad at me. It's a learning process this first year. We're obviously going to figure it out later on, but for now, yeah. But for Kobe Myers, we could actually get a good corner in Dax Hill in a 5th-round pick. Not something I'm saying no to necessarily. We could downgrade a receiver for no reason. I don't think we do that. Don't think we do this. Probably not. Definitely no. Definitely no. Definitely no. Alec Pierce maybe because it is only a, I mean, 3-year difference 4 overall. Plus we'd be getting a 6th-round pick. Not going to necessarily say no to that. Probably not. Probably not because of how big the overall difference is. The unfortunate thing is no one's really offering a receiver, which makes sense. Teams who are normally willing to trade for a receiver are because they need a receiver. So why would they give up a receiver? Only the Colts are a real offer I like. I also do like the Bengals, but like I said, I wish there was a receiver involved. Plus, the Bengals, if we're being realistic, they have Joe Burrow, or well, Joe Burrow doesn't really mean anything. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Yosivas, Jermaine Burton. They don't really need a receiver. The Colts are definitely a team I could see just wanting to get a guy, especially if they're willing to trade uh, Pierce. Because, I mean, look at their team. It could just be one of those where maybe they see, like, oh, we're not going to re sign Alec Pierce, so we might as well get Jacoby Myers instead. I'm not against the Colts, but I think we're going to wait just a tad bit. Maybe let Jacoby Myers develop a bit because all these other trades, well, they just don't seem really worth it. Oh, for draft pick wise as well, I should mention we don't have our 5th-round pick. That is the only pick we're missing. That's the only pick we every other pick is the same. We just don't have our 5th-round pick. I don't know who it's for, what it is. We just don't have it. So, with that being said, we're gonna have to game plan around that. But that is going to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. I will see you guys next time. We're week 1. I'm gonna try to do a bit. I'm gonna try and both watch games and just let them go by fast. It's probably going to be a mix of the speed and the simulation. Try and get through multiple weeks at a time. But I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hope you enjoyed.